Um, let's see. Oh,
Alrighty.
oh yeah, that's right. I get rid of the rolls, but I guess I could put it in the Stinko.
That's fine. If you're just
But
joining
I'll
us,
just mention it.
if you're
But
just
basically the stupid Space Force logo rips off the Star Trek logo for Star Command.
so dumb. If you're just joining us, shows RPGrinders. We have not started yet. We will be starting in about 10 minutes or so, waiting for Break to join. Breakman. So that'll be a cool thing. I don't know why I keep getting these goddamn beeps, man.
I told you it's my phone.
Well, it's weird because my phone just went off. I thought it was my phone. Uh, Anyways, the show's RP Grinders. Of course, I'm Frank, and I'm on with Eric. We're just doing a little pre-show banter.
I'll chuck this fucking thing in my other room if it bothers you that much.
Well, during the show, that's distracting, dude. Like, you really should put it on silent.
Well, if you're doing tweets, it happens.
Well, you could put it on silent, dude. There's a little button on the side that you click or push down.
Yeah, and I did that, and
Okay.
it just doesn't do it.
It doesn't? That's really weird.
No.
I would have my phone checked. If you're just joining us, the show's RP Grinders. We have not started yet, waiting for Break to join. And then, of course, we will...
Oh, wait. Oh, you mean the Switch?
Yeah, there's a little thing on the side of your phone, dude. You just hit that, and it'll be silent. We haven't started the show yet, waiting for Breakman to join. Should be an interesting show today. Got some Nintendo news from Eric. We've got all kinds of RPG news and other happenings in the news. There's let's see what else. Eric's gonna have some reviews. I'm gonna have one review. I'll do mine real quickly. Stinkles should be pretty interesting today. Sweetos, some interesting political stuff going on. Free for all, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Eric came up with some great topics today for y'all. So hit that like button.
How's the Joe Rogan thing a sweeto?
I will tell you. I'll tell you when we get there. And thanks for spoiling. I was being very non-spoilerific with this.
Well, we didn't mention anything specific. I just mentioned a name.
Well, you mentioned that, and people are automatically gonna know. So yeah, it should
But not necessarily,
pretty necessarily. He's in the news today for a very good reason, Eric, which I will explain.
Well, the more you talk about it, the more they're gonna know.
Well, that's why I'm waiting. I'm trying to wait, but should be really. What is that? That's weird. Should be really interesting show today. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's get Eric back on. Oh, he's. This is why I like to test before the show. There we go. I don't know what happened there, Eric. You just got hung up. That was weird. I heard this weird noise and then it just hung up on you.
Yeah, that was probably my speakers. Like, I guess when you hang up, the audio goes back to the speaker.
It's really weird. Yeah, so it should be.
I don't know. I need to figure out why Skype thinks it needs to sleep when I'm not looking at the screen at all
It's
times.
really weird. I don't know. There's some weird. I don't know if it's feedback from your end or what, but Bernie's in the house. What's up, Bernie?
Hola.
So it should be an interesting show today. We haven't started yet. Of course, shows RP Grinders. Eric has a very interesting free-for-all for us today, and it's a very interesting question. I think you guys are going to want to hang around for that. What else? What the hell is up with that, Eric? Like, let me mute you for just a second. There's something weird going on. Can you mute your mic for just a second, Eric? Let me. Yeah, it went away. Totally went away, Eric. There's something going on your end. Oh, that's better. That's way better.
I think there was some dust on the mic. That's what.
It's slowly coming back, but it's much better now. Much better now. So it uh, should be a really, really excellent show today. We got lots to talk about. Um, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to talking about um, Twitter in particular for my Stinko. I got a couple of interesting Stinkos. Uh, so we got a lot to do today. But we'll get to it like we always do. Just waiting for Breakman to join, and we'll be in good shape. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Share the link with whoever, haters, lovers, all like. Um, but yeah, we're just waiting for Break to get on in, and then we will, uh, you know, talk about what we've been playing and stuff like that. Eric, I when I get to my Stinko of the week, I got a dual Stinko today. But it involves Kingdom Hearts, and I gave it my game of the year, and I'm not backing down from that. But there's kind of it's an overall gaming issue with certain games, and
I'll tell you one thing I don't like about it is the fact that there's no full map feature.
yeah, that does suck. But I mean, I give it that a pass. It's not a big.
And the fact that the game still's not using autosaving, like even
Yeah,
as an option.
yeah, no auto
And
saving,
you
but
lose a boss fight, you can retry, but it's from your last save file. That's stupid.
yeah, I agree. I agree. But I mean, all in all, it's still a fantastic game. Um, I just have a little nitpick with it, but it happens. Uh, you know. Oh shit. Wyland's in chat. He says Twitch is busted. Listening on YouTube. Okay, well I got that chat open
That just
too.
worked, I guess.
Yeah, I got the I. Hey Wyland, if you're gonna be in the Twitch chat as well, because I do have the YouTube chat open as well. You can chat there as well. Um, I may be going back and forth. Yeah, check it out, Wyland. I don't know
I don't
what's
even
going
know
on.
why it says the video download was canceled. Try again, error 1000.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll be starting shortly. I see Breakman just got in, so should be fun. Should be a fun show.
The Twitch is broken today, folks.
I hope it's not, because that's where the majority of our listeners
Oh, it
and.
says it's not working.
Oh shit, that sucks. Well, the chat's working. Um, you know what? I can check something on my end. Restream.io. Uh, shows it online. Um, that's really weird. Okay, so you do get the audio on mobile. That's really weird, Wyland.
Well, if you're getting audio, that's all we really care about, because
Yeah.
we're not going to do heavy video stuff today anyway.
No, there's not a lot of video, but there'll be some. The video download was canceled. That is really weird. That's on Twitch. Huh. Well, let's see if
Report Twitch about it.
the chat is working. Wyland, do me a favor. When people get into chat, if you're going to be here for the duration, or at least while you're there, can you um, tell people to get the audio over on YouTube? That way I don't have to constantly, type that into chat. Maybe just, I think I made you mod, Wyland, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But, I don't know. Just let people know, that they can hear the audio over on YouTube. And the same chat. The chat's working, obviously. So we should be in good shape. Okay, let me get Wyland on in. Or Wyland. Let me get Break on in here. Let's see. Let's try to get. I'm sniffing like Trump today, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. Breakman, you here?
Yes,
And
I
now
never
we
know what's going on.
and now we don't have Eric. That's awesome.
I don't understand why I get booted when you
I
get somebody.
it's so weird. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, Wyland. That's really weird. It's got to be a Twitch issue. I really don't know what's going on, but the audio will be on YouTube. And if you could kindly let people know that the chat
Oh,
still.
like that's the only thing
Hang
that'll be
on, hang
available.
on, hang on, Eric. Let kindly let people know in the chat that the audio is going to be over on YouTube, but the obviously the chat's going to be on Twitch because that's how we roll, I guess. Gonna have some issues today apparently, but we'll do what we can do.
The Y2K bug hit us.
Finally. Yeah, finally, after all these years, it finally hit us. It took till 2020, but it finally
singled
got
out
us.
RPGrinders.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if there's anybody in chat. Looks like Bernie and Wyland are there. Of course,
we can blame MXT too.
Yeah, always blame MXT. That's the way we do it.
He canceled movie night.
He did. It was definitely MXT's fault that we didn't have
Twitch being stupid about it.
Yeah. Well, at that time it was Justin. Remember, we were on Justin.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember Justin. Justin.tv. Is that even around anymore? I don't think it is.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, technically you could type in Justin.tv, but it just redirects to Twitch.
Gotcha. Yeah. It was really cool when we did those movie nights. I had it all set up and fucking MXT's Power Rangers was the one that did it.
I know, of all movies.
Of all movies, Power Rangers. Yeah,
they couldn't handle the power of the Power Rangers.
It was funny because we were watching The Crow the following week, and then all of a sudden the channel.
No. The funniest thing is that the stream was cut after the "You're in trouble" song starts.
Yeah.
Almost poetic in a way.
Yeah, kind of poetic. Yeah. Okay. You guys ready to go? How you doing, Break? You all right, man? You're there? Are you here? Oh shit! Did we lose Break again?
I was wondering why you weren't responding. I had a mute button on.
Oh yeah, that'll work every time,
I mean, I was like, I'm okay. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's fine. Why are you repeating yourself? Oops.
Oh, it's your. I just blame Break, man. Just blame Break. Break or MXT. Those are always the go-to to blame. Okay, you guys ready to go? Break, you ready?
I guess.
Eric, you ready to rock?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. And welcome everybody to 575, episode 575 of RPGrinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. I know I just asked this question, but gentlemen, how are you? And here comes the awkward silence. Break, how...
Better than last week, I guess.
Yeah, you sound better, man. You sound a little bit better. Break?
Yeah, I'm surprised you survived. I mean, never mind.
How dare you, Breakman? Already starting stuff before the show even starts, man. Like, seriously. We've got hopefully a very entertaining show for you guys today. We got, of course, the usual news. We're going to have some discussions later on. There's some reviews to be had. Let's get right into it. Why don't we get into... RPG News. All right, Eric, take us into the news, my friend.
Okay, for the first article we've got from RPG site is the date for Rune Factory 4 Special, which is February 28th in Europe, and then February 25th in North America. Strange that they announced the European date first, but whatever. Or not. Well, it. Let's see. It's going to. Those who pre-ordered the digital version of the game will be able to get bonus swimsuit day DLC. This also will apply to people who get the physical edition, so I guess they'll just put the code in. But anyways, the archival edition is only available to the online store in Europe. But I think there'll be a physical release in the US, but it won't be the archival edition. Let's see. It also announced another episode DLC will be available for free from the Nintendo eShop until the 26th, at which point you have to pay for it, which will be $5, £4.49, and
like
€4.99.
$5 for the bottom. Like,
Huh?
you pay bikini, like you pay them separately.
Yeah. For the bikini, you know, like the top you pay like $2.50, and then like the bottom is $2.50. I mean, it's
No,
equal.
the Australian price is $7.50 in Australian dollars.
Oh yeah, it's really important because we
Eric
got.
will have none of our nonsense.
Not today, sir.
No.
Not today. Yeah, they did. They split it up, Break. So you know, you take your pick, which one you want, the undies or the bikini top. That's how it works.
Also, this says this additional episode will include illustrated stories for all 12 marriage candidates who are fully voiced in English and Japanese, which is interesting because the original release of this game had no voice acting.
Okay, that's actually kind of cool.
Well, actually, that's not entirely true. They were voice clips, but like I think they're actually going to have full voice acting in this version of the game.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on that, Eric?
At least during the story cutscenes. I can't say like it will do that everywhere, but hopefully this version of this game is less blocky than the 3DS version was.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, exactly. It came out a while ago, so I mean that's probably the reason for the quote unquote blockiness. But yeah. So, all right. Anything else, Eric, on that?
it doesn't say what the cost of the archival edition is.
Okay. Let's move on. Next story, Break.
Coming to us live from Siliconera. Thief's Roulette, Switch, PC, PS4, and Vita versions are on the way. Wow, they're still making games for Vita?
I know. What is that? What is this Vita you speak of, Break?
Yeah, I thought it was a fictional system, you know, like
Yeah.
like that vaporware that was what was that thing that was supposed to
The
come
Phantom,
out 5
the
years
Phantom
ago?
or whatever.
Do you,
Yes,
do
the
you know
Phantom.
that the last Wii U game that will probably ever be released is a port of Hawaii Shakedown?
Really? That's weird.
Yeah,
That's weird.
and that's assuming that all the I's get dotted and the T's get crossed, and it actually gets ported.
Hey, Break. I think the Vita is the jackalope of game systems.
Right.
You know.
Jackalope.
Yeah.
Okay, so the story. Top Hat Studios has picked up the publishing rights to a recently funded Kickstarter project. The choice-driven puzzle game Thief's Roulette, previously announced for just Nintendo Switch and PC. Top Hat Studios say the game will now all be coming to all platforms. Wow, okay. Adding PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, and others to the mix, with a demo set to arrive on PCs very soon. I'm really confused. All platforms, but they only mentioned PlayStation 4 and then the Vita of all systems.
Yeah.
Developer Hiromu656 describes the game as taking the narrative-heavy design of visual novels combined with immersive first-person puzzle gameplay, likening the game to the acclaimed Danganronpa and Zero Escape series. Thief's Roulette takes place on a futuristic version of Earth where android life and body augmentation is rife. Your characters found themselves kidnapped along with 14 other strangers, and you all must compete in 3 teams of 5, win and you survive, lose and you might die. Who you choose to align with may very well decide your fate, as building alliances or creating rivals will be the game's driving force. So this is like Survivor for real,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. That's the. I mean, nice idea for sure. I'm just.
Okay, kind of neat.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah. I was looking at my Twitter. Somebody just tweeted me, which I'll be talking about later. Goddamn Twitter, man. Okay. Anything else on that break?
No.
Okay.
New.
All
I
right.
will mention. I'll have to ask a question though. If it's called Thief's Roulette, does it involve alcohol and poison?
We can only hope, man. That
I think it involves actual roulette. No, I have no idea. I'm just.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're just making stuff up at this point, break. Yeah,
Yeah.
good job. Good job. I want an RPG about like growing weed, sort of like Harvest Moon, but like kind of like an RPG. Like you have to grow weed, and like you can either do it legit, like in the states that have it legal, or you can go underground, and that's what I want. But I never get what I want. So.
What's more likely to happen is they'll make a weed simulator. It'll be stupid.
Even better. Even better. I'd yeah,
no, because they'll probably be like Deer Simulator, which has nothing to do with the fact that you're playing as a deer.
No,
Have you seen a trailer for Deer Simulator?
No, it'll be Weed Simulator. Is just gonna be pictures of weed. Like it's just gonna keep changing images, and the potheads are just gonna sit there and stare at it.
And it's gonna have
it's gonna sell out.
It should
have a fake stereoscopic visual effect to make you feel like you're having a high because of the synesthesia involved.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of that, leads us to our next story. PlayStation Action RPG, and this is where the high, like people had to be high when they named this game. Brave.
Also got to play that famous song too.
Yeah, Brave.
Because I got high.
Jesus Christ. Brave Prove gets fan translation into English. PlayStation 1 top-down action RPG Brave Prove, developed by Data West, has gotten an English fan translation by Ashasha and their team. The game released
is Data West related to Data East?
Yeah.
That's what
Game released in...
They're arch rivals, like they're the North Star and the South Star.
Yeah. And what about Data North and Data South? I think there's a little bit of racism going on here, guys. You know what I'm saying? The game released in 1998, and it was never released outside Japan, which is probably why the name Brave Prove. The game borrows... The game borrows mechanics heavily from contemporary games of the time, such as the Zelda 2D games, Ys, and more. Ended up being overshadowed as a result, having released to middling reviews. Story itself is also rather straightforward, with the hero embarking on a quest to regain the love of his sweetheart, Shinna. And you can check out the screenshots. Screenshots. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it looks very derivative of the other games back in the day, but that's cool that it got an English translation. Yeah. So if you're into
that just sucks that your love always gets kidnapped in these games.
Yeah. What if the game was called Brave Proof and it was about mathematics?
Oh my god, that'd be even more. Or like it's called Brave Prove and you have to like prove like the Pythagorean theorem and all that shit, man. That'd be awful. Okay, Eric, let's move on to the next story. Hopefully no math is involved.
Next story is about a visual novel called Pika Pika Nurse Monogatari.
Okay.
Which is
Gesundheit.
Coming out in April in Japan, and it's a 3DS game.
Ooh, not very many of those coming out, really.
Anyways, it's called. This is apparently a series, and it's the latest entry.
Huh.
Anyways, it's aimed for the younger audience, and it's about being a nurse, and it's called Pika Pika because of electroshock therapy, maybe? I don't know.
Because you pika at the nurse's skirt when she bends over?
No. it's for young kids, so no.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think
you're working as a nurse in the pediatric ward in a general hospital. Your job is to take care of outpatients to hospitalized children and newborn babies. The game's 15 mini games.
Hey, Break, I think you were thinking of Pika Pika Naughty Nurse. That's the one you were thinking of.
Oh, yeah. You're probably right.
Yeah. Okay, continue on, Eric.
So this is basically Nurse Simulator for, like, 7-year-olds.
Yeah, it looks kind of cute.
7-year-old girls, maybe.
Yeah, I would check it out.
Oh, so it's like trying to like operation for our for this generation.
I mean,
Basically.
there are male nurses, but I have to wonder if they're in this game, or if it's just Japan being sexist.
Yeah, probably.
Do they even allow like male nurses in Japan? Because I could see them being sexist in
I
that.
don't think they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, there probably are, but they're probably got a different job title. They're not called nurses at that point. They're probably something else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
like
probably
that.
like, yeah, they call them something else just to seem more manly. Break. You were asking
Like
how.
physician's assistant, maybe.
Uh, Wyland, he does not have a point. Break. You said
Or they're called interns.
how
Like
you
you
going
call
to
them.
accumulate experience without math? It's called the computer does that shit for me, and I don't have to worry about it. I just level up. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
still math involved.
There's no math on
Your
my end.
computer's doing it for you. It's
Yeah.
I
still
mean,
math.
looking at the box here, there's a dude here, but I can't tell if he's a nurse or a doctor.
He's probably a doctor. Sexist
Yeah.
fucks. Probably. Okay. Let's move on to who did that story? I think it's
I mean, it's bad enough they're marketing this towards girls, so
yeah. All right, Break. I think you're up
Wow.
next.
Comes to us live from Silicon Era. Little Buster Switch arrives in Japan with English subtitles on April 23rd, 2020. Another one of Key's visual novels is making a jump to the Nintendo Switch sooner than people might think. Little Busters converted edition. I had to yell it because there's an exclamation point.
I
Will
called
make
it
us-
a bit. Sorry, I just called this a visual novel, and it's a sim. I need to do the errata there.
Yeah.
It's gonna make its debut on that day for 6,050 yen. This won't be the first time Little Busters has appeared. I'm sorry, Little Busters has appeared in English back in November 27th, 2017. The visual novel made its PC outside of Japan. I'm guessing they meant PC debut. It costs $34.99 for a copy. Wow, like the other converted edition releases, this is an extra. Nobody cares. I'm moving on. In Little Busters, players follow Riki and his high school friends, who he has grown up with and helped him cope with his parents' deaths. As the game begins, the Little Busters group expands to 5 more girls join the group. Thus begins a life spent getting to know these new potential love interests and enjoying adventures with friends. Oh, I like that. Though the world they all inhabit does have quite a big secret. And yeah, I hope this writer never listens. I'm sorry. Don't hurt me.
So this game's probably slated for a North American eShop release because it has English in it already. They just need to switch the language defaults, and the fact that it's already on Steam.
It is immediately available on PlayStation 2,
What?
Yeah, this is an
Place-
old game.
PlayStation 3, PlayStation Portable, and PlayStation Vita. Oh my god, the PSP. I didn't think I'd say that again in a long time.
Right.
I
Exactly.
miss my PSP.
It's one
I
of
think I should have a
older
barrel
titles.
port at sea.
Yeah. Holy cow. PS2 and PSP. Yeah. Insane. Anything else on that, Break?
Well, I guess what I skipped before was that it's going to have higher resolution images and the PlayStation Vita touchscreen support for mini games. So, yeah,
Cool. $67 though. Jesus Christ, man. That's pretty expensive for. that type
Well,
of
it's
game.
probably long because like the more expensive your visual novel is, the longer it usually is,
I gotcha. Okay.
and the more the voice acting. So they have to upcharge.
I guess. Yeah.
And this is Japanese anime romance. So this is going to take you like 5 chapters just to get the holding hands.
Break wants to get straight to like third base, man. He wants that right out of the
No,
gate.
this is They don't even get the third base. It ends before they even kiss. Like, oh,
I don't even think Little Busters has an R18 version. I think it's just an all ages game.
Gotcha. So yeah, Break is right. Then the climax will be you hold hands. That's probably what's gonna happen. All right, let's move on to the next story from Silicon Era. Netflix Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution will begin streaming on February 27th, 2020. And there's a little trailer here. Let's see if I can read you guys a little bit
The
about
Nino
it.
Kuni movie is already available, and I think the Dragon Quest Your Story movie comes out next week.
Oh, on Netflix? I don't have Netflix, man. That sucks. I would watch it, but I just have other like Disney Plus and Shudder, stuff like that. wrestling. I have WWE, and that's about it. That's all the streaming I do. Netflix has caught another Pokemon. This time it's a 3D CGI movie, Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back. Evolution. It will appear on the streaming service February 27th, less than 1 year after the Japanese debut. So that's kind of cool. Less than a year and you guys get it. It looks really good, actually, for 3D CGI. The reveal came alongside the first English trailer for Pokemon. I already said that. We get to see Ash, Brock, Misty, Pikachu, and Squirtle in the opening. And if you want to check it out, check out the trailer online. It looks really good. I'm actually really impressed with the 3D CGI. I'm normally not impressed with 3D CGI, but this looks really good for Pokemon fans out there. So, Eric, I know you'll probably be super interested in this and want to see it. You too, Break. I know you guys are Pokemon people, so there you go. If you're interested, trailers online, check it out. All right, Eric, what do we got next?
We got a game called Only the Banner of the Maid. It's got a PC English version release date of February 14th. And it says people looking forward to the Azure Flame Studio and CE Asia strategy game will only have one English language version next month. Only the Banner of the Maid PC release will be showing up on Valentine's Day. The Play and Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 versions won't end up showing up until a later date, which we don't have yet.
No screenshots, no gameplay, but there is a...
It says it's an isometric turn-based strategy RPG, so it sounds like tactics, maybe.
Yeah, sort
but
of.
a lot of cartoon cleavage.
Yes.
And it says players follow Pauline Bonaparte as she takes part in the French Revolution.
Yeah. Gotta love...
So they related to Napoleon then?
Yeah. Gotta love cartoon cleavage, Break. I'm all for it, especially if they make the characters look older. So there you go. Anything else on that, Eric?
It says it's immediately available with simplified and traditional Chinese on PCs.
Oh yeah, Break is an expert on both simplified and regular Chinese, so you know he would probably definitely get through this game real quick. All right.
So Chinese people, send them your Dear Breakman questions.
Yeah, Dear Breakman. Dear Breakman.
How many more people could I offend? Let's do this.
Why not, man? All right, Break, you get the honor of the last story.
I thought there were 2 more stories.
Are there? Did you add another one, Eric? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just one more. That's all.
Okay, go ahead.
Coming to us live from Silicon Era, Axis confirms its 6 Nintendo Switch Otome games will launch in 2020. 6, huh? Wow. Back in July 2019, Axis hinted at all Nintendo Switch Otome games it had on the way at the Anime Expo 2019, of course. It confirmed that Code Realize, Guardian of Rebirth, Code Realize, Future Blessings, Collar Malice Unlimited. What?
I think it's called Cross Malice, but whatever.
Oh, Cross Malice, okay. Cafe Enchanted and Pyofore no Banshu were on the way, while Code Realize Guardian Rebirth didn't make it out in December 2019 as planned. It'll be coming out this year. The first Nintendo Switch Otome games to come out in this Code Realize Guardian of Rebirth. Didn't I just say that, basically?
Yes.
It will arrive on February 6th, so there you go. It will even have a $39.99 standard and $59.99 collector's edition. The Code Realize Future Blessings release has also been nailed down. That has not been nailed down. It's rather than a general spring 2020 window, it's been confirmed for April 2020. That's not really nailed down. They say nailed down, but I corrected them.
Yeah.
The other titles are don't expect launch windows just yet for the Color Cross Malice and Color Cross Laos Unlimited. Cafe Enchanted and Pyoferno Banshu are both entirely new to the West visual novels. So, Guardian
The
Rebirth.
other games so far are just ports.
Yeah.
Those are the only new ones.
Okay. Cool deal. If you like visual novels. Anything else on that, Break? All right. Speaking of visual novels, this is our final story of... I get the honor. I hardly ever get the honor of doing the last story. Isekai visual novel Ascendant Hearts coming to Switch on January 30th. Wake up in a strange new world and go on a real-life RPG adventure. Let's see. So it first launched for PC via Steam in January of 2018, but it's coming to Switch for $9.99. That's a great price. It's probably a small visual novel then.
Yeah, probably like less than 10 hours.
Yeah, let me give you a little bit about it. It says Hayato lived an ordinary life until he wakes up one day with amnesia, of course, and finds himself in a world closer to the video games he plays than the world he remembers. Fetch quests, skill points, respawning after death, it's all a bit too much to accept. A mage named Shiori offers to help him find his way, and with her help, he learns how to fight monsters, perform fetch quests, and put items in a strange metaphysical space called an inventory. Ooh. So the key features, I'm just going to go on to the key features, guys.
That's his infinite bag of holding, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Parody of traditional JRPG and MMORPG tropes. Immersive fantasy. Holy shit, my page just went crazy here. Immersive fantasy world filled with monsters and memorable characters. Numerous distinct environments, including a haunted library, a mad scientist laboratory, and an eldritch temple. Lighthearted and humorous atmosphere. 3 possible romance routes. 3 main endings based on your choices. So there you go.
One for each
I have a
girl, I guess.
Yeah. What's that?
It opens with he has amnesia, but then it says he finds himself in a world closer to the video games he plays than the world he remembers.
Well,
He has amnesia. How does he remember?
it's not total amnesia then.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just probably forgot his name and maybe what it
Selective
was.
amnesia.
Yeah, selective amnesia.
His name and everything related to his family, but he remembers playing video games.
I
Yeah.
can't remember his address, but he remembers Mario Brothers. That's great.
Exactly. All right, so that is the news, everybody. What do we got going on? We actually do have a few homie discounts.
I don't think so. Homie, don't play that.
Homie discounts. There's a really good one on PlayStation Store. If you haven't, I had the Xbox ones up here, so that's why I'm kind of stalling a little bit. If you have not checked out Wolf Among Us, make sure and do so. It's a fantastic game. It's like less than
Bark.
it's less than $5 now, so you might want to check that out. It's well worth it if you have PlayStation.
It's Wolf, by the way. Don't
How dare
type in
you?
Wolf.
How dare you? I know I'm looking at the Xbox deals now. I had it up earlier, but Battlefront 2 is on sale, which is actually turned out to be a really good game. I know it was kind of a joke, but it's 40% off. If you're into Farming Simulator, that's 33% off. Not a bad deal there. What else is there? Not safe. NFS Heat, Need for Speed Heat, is 35% off, so that's a decent deal there. The Forza games are on sale, and that looks about to be, if you want to play that shit storm that is called WWE 2K20, you can get that for
It doesn't even work.
Yeah,
right
you can
now.
get that. You can get that for 67%.
Broken? Are you kidding me? Like that bad, huh?
Yeah,
No.
2020 happened, and because of the way the game's programmed, it just doesn't run.
It's completely broken.
Wow.
But that game really is broken. I mean, they really botched that one. There's a bunch of 360 titles on sale. Of course, you can play on the Xbox One. I highly recommend playing The Darkness.
So I need to explain, like, because the Y2K bug, the way they fix it is they just changed the date to 20 years later, and now
Yeah.
the problems are happening.
Yeah, exactly.
They were fucking lazy, and this is 2K we're talking about, so of course they were lazy.
Yeah, of course. That game is a piece of shit. Don't bother wasting your money on that shit. So that's all of the homie discounts. I didn't see anything noteworthy on Nintendo's side, so there you go. Breakman, should I hit your music?
Oh, you can. I don't have a question, but I've got some comments.
Okay. All right, dear Breakman, what we got?
Random thought from Freak 5 Chaos. He says someone should make a movie based off of Paperboy.
That's interesting. I could be down with that, depending on the synopsis of it. But yeah, I'm down. Why not?
I think he sent that like right after the show too.
It needs to be a crazy adventures of babysitting style adventure where he's trying to deliver the paper, but crazy shit keeps happening to him.
Yeah.
Starring The Rock, riding around on a little bike.
Yeah, I think that could work. I mean, I mean, there's not a lot game wise you could work on. I mean, I guess you could like come up with a convoluted story about like how there's somebody trying to kill the paper boy because you know how like he's driving up the road and that like the cars are always trying to run over the paper boy. So I guess you could come up with enough material.
Yeah, like he does live in the worst neighborhood. Like, who would want to deliver papers to houses with tombstones in the front yard and cars always trying to run you over and shit?
No, being the paper boy in the modern era wouldn't make sense, so they'd have to make it a period piece.
Yeah, it would definitely be a period, like an 80s period piece. That would work, I think. All right, what else you got?
I still want to see The Rock on a tiny bike.
Yeah.
He also sent us a picture from OG Ron on Twitter. The picture says GameStop going bankrupt and asking for buyers. Oh, how the tides have turned! I'll give you $3.50 for all your stores.
$3.50. Yeah.
They've ended their 10% for trade-ins for used games, so that they're basically just trying to discourage people from trading in games.
Yeah, it's wow. They're really on their death now, aren't they? I mean, let me tell you how bad shape they are in. Like, I had my rewards account hacked into, and somebody used up all my rewards points, which there was probably like $15 worth of points in there. Mm-hmm. And I emailed. At first, I called, and they're like, if you have a problem with your rewards account being hacked, so it's obviously a known problem what was going on with me.
Yikes.
But they gave an email address. Well, I emailed that address and I never got anything back. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to eat the $15. I'm not going to renew my subscription, and that's it. I don't get Game Informer anymore. I wish I could just subscribe to Game Informer, but even then, how much longer is Game Informer going to be around? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So it's like, whatever. I just let that go. Plus, GameStop's a piece of shit anyway, so fuck them.
Yeah, like at GameStop, the one by me, I was talking to one of the guys in there because I know I'm like, he was saying like, this place is never busy, and the way things are going, like he sees that store being closed soon.
Oh yeah.
So even like the employees know what's going on.
Yeah, like there was one cool dude at the GameStop that I used to go to. And, we used to talk, like, about Funkos mostly, because that's mostly what I bought there was Funkos, because sometimes they would have, like, exclusive Funkos and, stuff like that. So, but he obviously left. He saw the writing on the wall. He was like, fuck this, I'm out, so whatever. I'm not going to say I'm going to shed a tear for GameStop, because fuck that company. They treated their gamers like shit the entire time. Like, there was never a time. Do you guys remember, like, the training videos that they used to have for women and girls and, various, like, snafus that they did over the years? That shit comes back to haunt you eventually. You know what I mean? Plus, they just sucked at doing what they did. Like, I know, Breakman, you worked at Hollywood Video. Or, what was that called? Like, Game Crazy. And every time I would go into a Game Crazy, like, the employees usually were very enthusiastic. They knew the upcoming releases for the most part. They could talk to you about video games because they genuinely were into video games. Anytime I went to a GameStop, nobody knew anything about any RPG especially. But they barely knew about, like, first-person shooters and stuff like that. So I'm like, why do I even come in here? Like, this is a specialty shop, And if you don't know,
I've been fortunate. Like, the GameStops I've gone to, like, at least the past couple of years, the people that know games. But like, back in the day, the GameStop employees typically did not know.
Yeah, things. Here it's weird. Like, nobody knows about anything. You ask them about Persona, they're like, "What's a Persona?" Like, they don't.
I went there to pick up Tokyo Mirage Sessions the other day, and they were telling me about Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah, so. Interesting. Yeah.
difference.
I don't ask them anything about what's coming up and stuff like that. I don't. Just I can go online and figure it out.
Yeah. Chimera Linguist is in chat. What's up, Chimera Linguist? The Chimera Linguist.
Oh, the.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Welcome on in.
Forgot that at first. You owe him her a very big apology, and you must bow to their throne or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How do you beg a king for forgiveness?
Exactly. King or queen. We don't know. So there
That's
you go.
true.
Okay. Anything else, Break?
No, that was it.
All right. Let's move on to...
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know what you've been playing, Breakman.
Mostly Crackdown. I got my crack fix in.
Your crack fix. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I love crack.
Is it still hitting all the notes for you?
Yeah, it's essentially the same as the other Crackdowns. If you've played Crackdown 1 or 2, you've really played this game, essentially. It's just, it has a different map, but the leveling system's very similar, and, you know... the only one thing, just like the other ones, I don't use the vehicles very often, so I kind of feel like I'm missing a little part of the game because I'm not... Because I'm on top of the buildings, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, or jumping over the buildings. It's way too fun being able to do stuff like that than to get in the car and just drive.
Yeah, I wish that that team would take on like Hulk Ultimate Destruction 2 and see what they could do with it. You know what I mean? I've been waiting for that for a long time because that was a great. Do you remember Ultimate Destruction? Break?
I never got to play it, but I remember.
God, the game was great, man. You could, first of all, Hulk smash. That's all you need to know about that game, man, for sure. Anything else you've been playing, Break?
No.
All right, Eric, you're up.
All right, I finished Line of Detective Mysteria. I got all the epilogue chapters done, and I need to write the review at some point soon. And I've been playing through Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm at the final area. I'm deciding whether or not I should even bother collecting all the snapshots of all the lucky emblems to work on getting the Ultima weapon, or maybe I'll just ignore getting an Ultima weapon, just shoot for the Oath Keeper instead, because I only need to get 90 of those, and you have to do a bunch of other things to get all the Oralcum pluses to make that thing. So
yeah.
But other than that, I've been playing. I tried playing the Vita version of Nightcry, and I almost immediately stopped after I ran into the Scissor Walker, because you die in that game, you have to go back to the title screen. That was already a problem in the PC version, but it's compounded by the fact that the load times are horrendous.
Yeah.
And the game has performance issues.
Ooh, yuck. Yeah. Okay. What else you been playing?
But
that sounds like a game I'd quit after 2 or 3 failures. Like, wait, I gotta start. Oh, fuck that. Done.
Yep.
Done with this game.
Yeah, exactly.
My money back. This is shit.
The load times are much better on PC, but the PC version has its own set of issues. Like the fact that it's way too fucking dark in most places, and there's no brightness settings or whatsoever in that version of the game.
Does anybody cry in the night in that game, Eric?
And the character models are ugly in both versions, and obviously the Vita version has even less textures and features than the PC version does. But the voice acting's bad.
Jesus Christ, there's nothing good about
which
this
I
game.
expect because Clock Tower did. So, and this is basically a spiritual successor of that, and the same people who developed it. But
so is it like intentionally bad, or just?
It's intentionally bad, but
okay.
But it's even if it's an intentionally bad game, it doesn't even have a Deadly Premonition budget. It's worse than Deadly Premonition.
Wow.
And the game clearly needed a larger budget because it shows just it doesn't have the charm that a game like Deadly Premonition has.
No. Okay. What else you got, Eric? What else you been playing?
I've been watching a Let's Play on the internet because I don't want to play through it myself.
Okay. What else you been playing, Eric?
I played a little bit of Tokyo Tattoo Girls, and that game's boring as shit. It's like it's a simulation game, but like the problem is like a game like this doesn't have a whole lot of action going on into it, and you'd think this would be the perfect game for the Japanese market to do the fan service bullshit to it, and it doesn't. So what you're left with is like the only time you get any kind of fan service at all is when you're looking at the back of a girl to put tattoos on her, because like the game has a whole gimmick where they got tattoos that give them mysterious powers, and like they have like one tattoo that gives them a specific power, and then you can add tattoos to the other parts of their body to strengthen that power.
Sweet. That actually
So how many
sounds...
of the lower back tattoos can you give?
So like you get side boob and under boob, but you don't get full frontal because it's a tattoo.
Yeah.
But
Well, I was hoping that they had like a pasty tattoo you could put on the nips. That would
plus
be...
it's also
I was gonna say I've seen like tattooed nipples before. Like that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
but it's a console game, so they can't go M-rated. So
I've actually seen...
If there's a body part, it's been tattooed.
Yeah, hey, Break, I actually have seen some really cool nipple tattoos, man. There are actually some decent ones out there. But, you know, that's this is a PG-13
anyways,
show, but, you know.
So it's basically like a Moe version of like a Yakuza simulator. So it's basically like the mini game from Yakuza 0 where you do real estate, but you're watching it happen in real time, but you're not getting any kind of feedback as to what's being successful. You just watch numbers go up and down mainly.
Yucko
And that's
Rama.
not very exciting.
Okay, you play anything else exciting, Eric?
That's basically the review, but now I just have to write it.
Okay. What else you been playing, Eric? Anything?
I started up 7 Scarlet because I finished London Detective Mysterio.
Okay, awesome. All right. I've been playing a little bit of Kingdom Hearts 3, just like Eric. How far am I into the game, Eric? I just beat the Pirates of the Caribbean.
After Pirates of the Caribbean, there's San Francisco, and then there's the final area.
Oh, that's right. I'm in San Fran, Tokyo, however they say that.
Big Hero 6 was not a great movie, but
I liked it.
I think what you do in the game is more entertaining than what happened in that entire movie. That's all I
Yeah,
have to say.
yeah. The movie was okay though. It was just okay. It was fun.
I think the worst thing about the movie is Randall. Don't
Yeah.
put an annoying character in there. Just have an annoying character
I
because
like-
they're annoying.
I like Fred the best. Fred was the best. But yeah, I'm in that area now.
Talking about the black dude with the blades.
Yeah, not that one. I'm the dude in the monster costume. He's the best.
Yeah, that's Randall. That's the annoying character.
That's Fred. Fred's the dude in the costume. He's the best. He's awesome.
Maybe I heard their names wrong. I don't know. I can't remember since the last time I saw the movie.
But
so.
yeah, I'm in the middle of that actually. I think I'm about halfway through that world. So you're saying there's one more world after that, and then I'll be done? That sounds about right, because I'm like 27 hours into the game.
Well,
so.
there's like an interlude before the final world where you have to do stuff,
Okay.
and then like plot happens.
Yeah, I
You
might.
get, like 2 boss fights, and then you get to the final area.
I might have it done by now. I've never done an official review of Kingdom Hearts 3, so I might have that for you guys next week if I can.
The
I can get to it.
DLC to me feels like maybe if we delayed this game just to like by even like 6 months, we could have had this DLC out as a part of the main game.
Yeah,
So
well,
it feels like I'm paying $30 for the last part of the game,
yeah, I'm not paying that
and I'm
much.
not paying $30. I'm waiting until sale.
Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna do that.
I don't have time for it right now, anyways. I mean, I only set enough aside time to play through for the main game.
Yeah, I mean, I only paid 20 for Kingdom Hearts, the main game anyway. So why would I pay 30 for the add-on? No, I'm not doing that.
I bought mine for like 40 because of a pricing error on Amazon way back when.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I've been playing. So let us move on to
RPGrinders reviews.
Hey, Break. Do you have any reviews this week?
Trying to think of what oh yeah, actually I kind of do.
Okay.
Me and Mrs. Bergman watched a very, very hard show to watch. Really very depressing. It's probably the most depressing show I've seen since Requiem of a Dream.
Okay.
But unlike Requiem of a Dream, this ends with kind of a positive ending, kind of a happy-ish ending. Oh, freaks in chat. Sorry, dude. Somebody needs to tell them the audio's on
Yeah, I'll do
YouTube.
that. Continue.
It's called Unbelievable, and the basic story, and it's based on a true story, is why it's so hard. But what happens is a girl is raped, and they kind of show the rape as much as they can, and what she experiences. They go really into depth into this stuff. And that's what makes the show really hard to watch, is how much in depth they go into things like that. They go into that, and then she goes to the hospital, and she has to go through all these procedures.
Mm-hmm.
It's so uncomfortable to watch. But at the same time, like I feel like it was a valuable thing to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really does hammer home like how horrific rape can be, or how horrific rape is. You know what I mean?
Right, and also like it from what you're telling me, it's like it takes you through like kind of like a what happens when that horrible event type happens. So it's more of like an awareness type deal.
And this one, and like I said, this is based on true events. And what happens with this girl is she gets kind of badgered by the police when she, talks about a rape, and then they say the stories are inconsistent. And
Sounds
stuff
about
like
right.
That.
Sounds about
and
right.
the cops don't believe anything she says, basically by the end of it. And she just wants to get out of there. She just wants to get away from them because they're not believing her. Nobody's believing her at this point. So she recounts, or she says, no, never mind, it didn't happen. I made it up.
Right.
And from there, we go to the two detectives who are investigating a rape that basically they find out there's a serial rapist, and they go investigating that, and it leads all the way back to, her being probably his first victim.
Oof, yeah.
So it's proven that she was raped initially, and that the cops were assholes, and it was, yeah.
Is it based on a true story, Break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why I said like two times, I think. Yeah. It was good though. Like, it was good.
It's I have to be in the right mood to watch those. Like you mentioned, Requiem from a Dream. That one is a really tough. Bernie and I went, and I should have put that in our marathon. We had a marathon of tough to watch movies, but for some reason we went the horror route and not the just normal encompass everything route, because Requiem from a Dream would definitely fit that mold. What you're saying would like another one that's kind of hard to watch is I Spit on Your Grave. That's kind of tough to watch. Yeah, there's a bunch like that. I
guess about like all the Saw movies too. They're focused on trying to do like the torture porn stuff, and they're just, instead of like making a movie, it's just like let's just focus on
Passion of the Christ is a tough to watch movie.
Passion of the Christ is definitely on that list, Eric, for sure. That's a tough.
What I've heard, never seen it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a really good movie. I just obviously me being an atheist.
Good movie on a completely fictitious event. I
yes,
guess.
I agree with that, Eric. But and they changed things so much from. They made it Hollywood. I mean, that's the way it was. But
that's what Hollywood does.
So, what are you giving? What's the name of the movie again? Break.
Unbelievable. It's not a movie. It's a limited series.
Okay. And what would you give?
Because of I think the realistic depictions of, and I should say before it ends, like I said, they finally catch the guy, and they're able to prove that she was raped and vindicate all the women who go through it, and you get to see like what he goes through. Like what the police make him do, like they pull out hairs from his skin, from pubic hair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What, you watched it? Why are you saying ew? Oh.
Who me?
No, Mrs. Brakeman.
Oh.
She's like ew. Like they I mean they kind of go out of their way to humiliate him too, like the rapist. As far as like the person who's making, because it really does feel like you're just like this girl's just being humiliated in every way, and just watching everything she goes through is just so tough.
It really is.
And Mrs. Brakeman was like saying, it's like she starts to get on your nerves because of like how she's like shutting down and just saying nothing, like I didn't do it, and instead of fighting back for herself, she just shuts down, and it's because it's hard to watch.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a few movies and series like that. Like one that was pretty hard to watch was The Killing. I don't know if you've ever seen that, Break, but it's
Oh, The Killing. I watched most of that, and I never watched the end of The Killing. I didn't see the
yeah,
last couple episodes.
yeah, it's good. It's just it's kind of heartbreaking. It's like one of
Mhm.
those. Oh God, man, it's really tough to watch. But yeah. So what are you giving it?
I
Break.
guess an 8-ish, maybe. I don't,
Okay.
I don't, I don't like. I don't want to. I don't know. I guess an 8.
It's probably in the category of you see it once and you don't ever want to go back to it type thing, right? Break.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like unless I'm just skipping to the end, like the rapist is getting what he deserves. He's going to prison.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
sitting under the trial and stuff like that, and they found him guilty. They
Yeah.
don't make us go through the whole trial experience. Thank God, though. That would have been horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It
For
was
sure.
mostly most of the show is the investigation and what the girl is going through.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. All right. 8 out of 10 sounds like if you want to watch something super depressing, that's gonna be the show for you. So there
But
you
like I
go.
said, it has that happy kind of happy ending because it doesn't unrape the women that are in it, and and the stuff that they go through, and knowing that it's a true story and that this are based on a true story, and like this stuff happened for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
It's Hollywood, as we said. Hollywood's up stuff. Like they change things, and
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
but I mean,
Okay.
the general thing is that there was a girl who was raped and then recounted because of what the police did to her, and nobody believed her,
Yeah.
and just what she went through.
A lot
So
of victims, female rape victims, a lot of times, like, they'll say, the rape, of course, was horrific, but even worse is when, the cops don't believe you and give you a hard
yeah,
time. That's, so you're getting victimized, like, more than once,
yeah.
type thing. Yeah. Okay, Eric, you're up. You have a couple of reviews.
Yeah, I've got a review of One Punch Man Season 2.
Okay.
Yes.
The only thing I don't like about this season is the fact that it ends on such an odd note.
Yeah,
Don't
like I
spoil.
kind of was shocked by that. Like I was like, wait, oh, that's the final fight? Oh, that's it?
Is
Okay.
that going to be it for One Punch Man, or are they going to have more?
It might be because they haven't made any announcements on Season 3.
Oof,
The
okay.
manga's still going, and you can read the manga on Viz's app. And Viz's subscription fee is only about, like, what, $2 to $3 per month?
It's fairly popular. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get season 3, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just how soon? Because there was a 3-year gap between the first 2 seasons.
It's true. But like I was kind of thinking like
And the streaming services haven't even got the dub version yet, so...
the way it ended, even though it was kind of like sudden and stuff like that, it did kind of make sense as the show was going on because, well, go ahead and do your review. I don't want
And, well, the other thing that
And-
sucks is they switched from Madhouse to JC Staff, which is a decent enough animation company. I mean, they do the Konosuba anime that is on Crunchyroll, but JC isn't as good as Madhouse. But I did like the fact that they talked a little bit more about the different factions. Like, there's the martial artists who are just martial artists, some who would become part of the Hero Association, some who don't. And then there's the group of monsters that apparently they don't make any suggestions that the monsters that they've been fighting in season 1 are related to that group, but they probably are.
Well, I think a lot of the monsters in season 1 were like kings, like I'm the king of the sky and I'm the king of the ocean and stuff like that. So they probably weren't.
Mm.
But I'm just guessing. I don't know. Maybe they were. You could be right.
But it might explain why there's so many monsters, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this show definitely needs monsters. Without monsters, there is nothing to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Unless you want to fight heroes that have gone corrupt a lot, which could be interesting.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they are gearing up for the finale of the entire series to be the one S-class hero guy who's in the Hero Association, who's obviously gone off the deep end.
Yeah.
But nothing's really set him off yet, but he's probably somebody who's not to be trusted.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you giving season 2, One Punch Man, Eric?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
A 9. Okay, that sounds really good. I love that. I love the first season. So
Yeah,
you know.
second season's really good too.
Freak 5 is in chat. He says I got started on Marvel Runaways. I want to watch that.
Even after I warned him.
Yeah. He says he's liking it, but he had one moment that challenged his suspension of disbelief.
What do you think of the Gifted show?
I like Gifted.
I've never seen it.
I thought Gifted treated mutants like the actual comics treat mutants, which is they're basically hated and despised, and it's hard to be a mutant because people want you dead, just everywhere.
Yeah.
It's treated way better than the movies, a lot more accurate. But what was I saying? Oh, the Marvel Runaways. Both the first and second season took like 10 minutes out of a certain episode to go have a party. Like they just have to stop and dance and do a music thing or something because you could tell it was made for kids. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I have a problem with the telepathic link to the dinosaur. Well,
that happens in the comic. That's isn't that Kamala Khan and Devil Dinosaur? Isn't that how it goes in the comic? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, isn't it?
Unless this is a character that's like that character, but not.
Well, they might have changed it in the show. I haven't seen the show, but I think in the comics, if I'm not mistaken, it's Devil Dinosaur and Kamala Khan. So I don't know.
No, these are different characters.
Okay, all right.
Like this dinosaur is called Old Lace.
Okay, yeah, it's different.
Maybe people are mad because it isn't.
And this is a raptor, not a Tyrannosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
The Devil Dinosaur is the Tyrannosaurus.
I got you. Yeah. Okay, so we're talking something completely different.
Yeah.
I still had one review, by the way. We kind of.
I jacked your review. You can suck off. Get away. My review now. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Freak. He brought up Marvel Runaways, and I'm just. My problem was when one kid found a working payphone.
Really?
Yeah, found it Yeah, is there ever? I mean, I haven't seen a working payphone in. Fuck, it's got to be at least 15 years, 20 years. Freak 5. So yeah, I would definitely be like, that's weird. You know.
A lot of the teen angst annoyed me with the show. But like I said, the third season I quite enjoyed, especially with bringing in Elizabeth Hurley as the big bad. Like,
yeah,
she's always entertaining. You know.
Yeah, of course, she's
like she played a fun devil.
Oh yeah, that was good. What was it? She Devil, I think it was, or
was that what it was called with Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, what the hell was that called? It was a good movie. I liked that movie. It was good. Okay, what else you got, Eric?
I got a review for Toradora with that exclamation point because it's part of the title.
Yeah.
But it is an anime adaptation of the manga or light novel. I can't remember which it actually belongs to, but light novels are basically manga, but they're not serialized. They're printed in volumes usually, and they're usually also. Well, I think light novels also have like walls of text, but like with images to like complement them. But it is a romantic comedy about a girl who has, for various reasons, the way she was raised, has trouble relating to people and gets in the violent outbursts. And she's sort of a tsundere-like character where like she'll be really mean, but like then eventually come around and be sweet, which is a trope that's existed in anime for a long time. But I think this show does it good because a lot of the times with tsundere characters, they're one-dimensional and they're just like that the entire run. But like this is about her getting older and growing up and learning that you can't do that shit and you need to get your shit together.
Yeah. All right.
And it's about basically her hooking up with this guy who has his own set of issues about the public's or the school's perception of him. They think he's a delinquent because of the scowl that he has, which he can't really help because it's like the way his muscles work or whatever. But and the fact that his own dad was kind of a bum.
So you're saying he has resting bitch face?
Yeah, he basically has resting bitch face and he can't stop it.
That sucks.
That was a good observation, break.
But anyways, he has a crush on some girl, and she has a crush on some guy, which is funny because that guy was rejected by her when he asked her out like the year prior, and maybe not the year prior. I think they're first years, but like it's been 6 months since then, and like I guess it was the start of the school year, but she didn't realize she had feelings for him until after she had rejected him. But
that's how it usually goes.
Anyways, they're trying to help each other hook up with these people, but as time goes on, they learn to grow feelings for each other. And then there's also like a love. I'm gonna call it a love square because it's not a love triangle because there's three other girls who like the main male lead, but like there's various issues and complications that arise because of that.
Okay,
so it's a good show. And you can watch it subbed and dubbed and on VRV and Crunchyroll, but you might want to watch it now because Nisa is the one who acquired the license for the show, and they're not renewing it, so it might be disappearing from streaming platforms soon, and it's really hard to find the retail copies.
Interesting.
But if it does get license rescued, which it probably will, it'll probably either go to Funimation or Sentai.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're going to start seeing less and less retail copies too of everything.
Yeah. I think you guys are definitely right on that.
But so I'm going to give this show also a 9.
Okay. Wow. That's
I never watched the dub, but maybe I'll come back next week and I'll watch an episode and tell you what I thought of most of the characters. I'll get to an episode where the most of the main cast is introduced.
If you're interested, you can get it on eBay right now. It says complete series on DVD for 22.
Yeah, I'd be very leery of what that says though, because it might be like bootleg.
It might be like what?
A bootleg copy that you're getting from China that's been sold by the Triads.
It looks like it's a sponsored type thing, so
yeah, I don't think it has a proper Blu-ray release, so you're looking for the DVD set because that's how old the show is.
That's what I said. I just said $22.50 for the DVD. It's not too bad for the entire series if you're looking to get that, so there you go. Okay, I have a real quick review of Zombieland 2. A very worthy follow-up to Zombieland 1. All the main characters are returning, have returned. More of the same, more rules. I really enjoyed it. The time went by quick for me on it.
Can I ask you real quick? Did they have the best kill? Or what was that? Kill of the day or kill of the week or something?
No, I didn't see that in part 2, but there's something even better in this version. Okay. One of they introduce a new character, and she's a riot. She's like this ditzy, like Valley Girl. I can't remember her name, but she was great. Whoever that actress is did a really, really good job. They had the kill of the year. So you have to watch it for that. Nice. And it basically involves them traveling, and for some reason the women kind of want to get away from the guys. I guess it's that whole, we've been with each other for, how long now, roaming the countryside. We need to do something different type thing. But they end up getting all back together, and some zaniness ensues. Another new addition is Rosario Dawson. She's always great in almost anything she does. So, Yeah, I highly recommend watching it. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's a worthy sequel. Lots of funniness, like what you expect from Zombieland. I find I can't remember what his name is. The one of the main characters, the nerdy dude. What's his name? Eisner. I can't remember his.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, Eisenberg. I don't like Jesse Eisenberg. I've come to the conclusion. I don't think he's a great actor, but the other actors definitely, fill the void. And there's even some appearances by Luke Wilson and another dude that looks like Eisenberg that kind of, mimic their characters, kind of like a Bizarro World type thing. But yeah, it was.
I don't like any of the Wilson twins, but I think Luke is better.
I like Luke. Luke Wilson actually has been in some movies that I like Vacancy. Vacancy's a great movie. Wyland says anything is better than that horrible Zombieland TV series pilot. I never saw that, Wyland, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. Especially coming from you, you're definitely a horror guru like me. So if you say it's bad,
twins, I mean brothers. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So I give it an 8 out of 10. I highly recommend watching it. It's out on Redbox and, streaming services and not streaming services, but like, where you
I didn't even know Zombieland had a TV pilot.
It did. And I heard awful things about it, and that's why I didn't go into it. It was god awful, Wyland says. So there you go. Let's move on
a scale of god awful versus Star Wars Holiday Special, how awful is it?
It's Star Wars Holiday Special, I heard, man. It was that bad. Okay, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the Week.
Breakman, let's start with you. Stinko of the Week. Do we have Breakman? Are you on mute? Jesus, did we lose Breakman? Please tell me.
Well, apparently it was made by the people who did the first movie. So what were they all like stoned or something when they made the movie?
Wow, that's really weird. They must have been stoned. Breakman, do we have you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Or the person who greenlit it was stoned, and they were all stoned.
Yeah, probably. All right, we're on to our Stinkos. Breakman, what you got?
My stinko goes to the impeachment farce that's going on right now. And I say it's not a farce that he is being impeached, or that he was impeached, but I mean
removal
from office, I guess, trial, really, right. Whether he should be removed from office is what I should say. And not what's going on, because I think Schiff has done a great job of laying it out. I think that for the most part, I think all of the Democrats have done a great job of showing, hey, look at this. We even have video of him saying this stuff. Like, look. Like, if you're not going to give us witnesses, then we'll just, show you what he's done. And laying it out, like, exactly what he's done. But as we said, there should have been more. There should have been a lot more indictments. I mean, a lot more. He should have been impeached for a lot more things. But my main problem goes to... They're trying to advertise to a party who is blatantly obstructing or blatantly avoiding it at all costs. They have been doing, and apparently you're supposed to sit and listen. You can have like water and milk, and you can get like a break or two, But the Republicans have been doing things like reading novels and playing with fidget spinners and stuff,
Yeah, and
it's basically saying they all swore to be nonpartisan, but they are all in it for Trump, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we all knew this was going to happen, but just watching it happen is just such a disgrace. Yeah. And McConnell's made it so we obviously can't see with the cameras they don't put the cameras on the Republicans that are doing any of this stuff,
Yeah,
we have to hear about it from the reporters, which then they say no, that's lies, those are lies and stuff like that.
Yeah, there also was a point where some of the Republicans weren't in the chamber when the testimony, or not testimony, but the opening remarks were going on, and it's against House rules. But of course, McConnell isn't going to enforce anything. He doesn't. I mean, nobody really cares. And you know what? I'm focused on the long game break, and I haven't even been watching the trial because we all already know what's going to happen, Usually I
Yeah.
keep up on these things,
I
and
know, I know. Like we already know for the most part what's going to happen. I think there might be a few people who's flipped, but there's not going to be enough to get him out of office. And and the people who are solidly in his, in his camp are gonna, solidly stay there. I mean,
yeah,
we'll probably get like Mitt Romney to flip, and then for the most part, everybody else will support him and say, they keep saying this. What he did was wrong, but it's not an impeachable offense. Well, what he's doing is wrong. Then what's the punishment? Is there going to be no punishment? So you're saying it was wrong, but we're not going to do anything about it. So if you don't do anything about it, what they do is they amp it up. And that's
yeah,
what Trump did because Russian investigation. You laid out key things that needed to be investigated, but he obstructed on. He wasn't giving him enough evidence to prosecute him because whatever, and they didn't enforce anything. So obviously the whole Ukraine thing happened because they didn't stop him the first time.
yeah.
And obviously the China thing happened too. Like he gets on television and says, "Hey China, if you got anything," and then why would I give it to the FBI if somebody else tells me
Yeah, yeah.
stuff like that?
See, here's
And
the
Clinton was impeached for lying about a blowjob. See, the thing is with Clinton too, we shouldn't compare it because Clinton didn't fight like Trump is doing. There were witnesses. Trump, he was impeached because he lied under oath. He went under oath. Trump refuses to do anything like that.
yeah. Well, look, I said this a long time ago, and I think you did too. Break. It's going to be up to the voters. You know what I mean? Like, there's no question that
I worry like the guys, a lot of these dirt bags like Jim Jordan. I don't think is ever going to go anywhere. I think he's going to be in there for years and years to come because of the district he's in. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and just I just think that there's going to be a lot of those guys that are just going to stick around for years and years and years, and there's nothing we can do.
Well, there is something we can do, and I look. There's consequences to Trump's actions,
There has to be.
not by Congress, because obviously they're a bunch of feckless pieces of shit, and the Democrats don't want to rock the boat too hard because they're benefiting money wise by a lot of what's going on. They vote for Trump's budget, military budget, over and over and over again, up to and including people that are supposed to be progressive, like Elizabeth Warren, and I could name a bunch. I mean, the only two that I can think of that voted against every single one of Trump's budgets for the military are Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard, right? I mean, nobody else has. You can look at the rolls, you can see for yourself. It's going to be up to the voters, Break. And I think a lot of those Republicans are going to get their asses handed to them in some, not all
I hope
districts, not all districts. Like there's going to be some, like I actually think Mitch McConnell's going to skate by this time around
Yeah, me too.
again, even though he's one of the most unpopular senators, because the person that they have going up against him is a woman named Amy McGrath. She's a veteran, so good on her for that. But she's a worthless piece of shit Trump supporter, anyways. I mean, it just goes on and on, man. Like it's a perpetual. This is the reason why I and am all in for Bernie Sanders, Breakman, because
Oh, and let me Freak said something in chat. He said, "I'm sorry,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt."
Yeah, no,
you."
no,
He
go
said,
right ahead.
I want to correct him real quick. He says, "I know, but my response when they say Trump didn't do anything impeachable, you forget Trump was impeached.
He
Let's
was.
make this clear, like that,
Yeah.
because I've seen that, like the Republicans arguing back, like, no, there's no impeachment. No, he was impeached.
Yes, he's an
So
impeached president.
let's be clear, like he was impeached.
Yep, absolutely. And it's really weird. Like, I think if you're impeached, you shouldn't be allowed to go for re-election. You know what I mean? I think that should be the end of your political career, and then we can move on. We can pick somebody different. The Republicans can pick a different candidate that, could be either like Trump or not like Trump. I mean, they have to decide that for
Well, it would be
themselves.
Pence because they're not going into these criminal investigations like they should. Because I mean, Lev Parnas has basically said that, hey, everybody, including Mike Pence, knew what was going on for the most part.
Yeah.
Like like they're all criminal. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I I totally agree with you, Break.
I
I
mean,
couldn't.
I've always known there's corruption in Washington, which is one of the reasons why I refused to vote for so long,
Yeah, yeah.
because there's so many dirty people. For the most part, all of them are on the take, you know?
Yeah, I know, and I'm high on Bernie Sanders, and
Yeah.
because he has a 40-year track record of being on the right side of history with a bunch of things. I could go on and on about his record and what he's done, what he hasn't done, et cetera, et cetera. But that doesn't mean that if Bernie was elected that I wouldn't be critical of Bernie, because I would. Bernie, like for instance, Bernie is still, he's not a gun nut like the Republicans, but you got to think of his base in Vermont. Like a lot of people up there hunt, and they're kind of pro gun. And he's voted like basically the Republican way when it comes to guns for the most part. But I could see a person like Bernie like changing his tune, especially with all the mass shootings that we've had and stuff like that. So I would hold his feet to the fire. And I would want him to adopt things like I don't know, like Andrew Yang's UBI, for instance. As long as it doesn't cut Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and stuff like that, which I'm pretty sure he would, he could be hedged that way. He's one of these people that I think, you know, genuinely has the best interest of the people. Whereas I can't say that about anybody else, up to and including Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren's the spoiler of this campaign, and it pains me to say that, but because I liked a lot of the financial things she did in the CFP and stuff like that. But we need revolution. We don't need this little incremental, oh, maybe we'll give you a few crumbs this year. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you, Break. It's a sham. The whole trial is a sham. But
Yeah.
we've got to
And
vote.
one of the big argument, I'm sorry, there's two big arguments. Basically, like I said, they say what he did. Okay, the two big arguments are from the Republicans that what he did was wrong, but it's not impeachable, which we talked about. And
Right.
then the other one is that um, why don't you litigate it in court? That's what that was Nancy Pelosi's strategy for the last few years.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
let's litigate in court. Look what's happened. Nothing.
Nothing.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's just. Oh man. I just don't understand
Yeah.
why
Like
it
their
even.
defense is totally weak.
Like,
It's
you know what
ridiculous.
you know what Mitch McConnell should do? He should just listen to all the arguments the Democrats have, which I think Adam Schiff, as much as I don't like that guy, he's done a pretty good job of like
Yeah,
presenting as much
I'm
as he
not
could.
saying I'm his fan or anything like
Right.
that. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm
Right.
not saying like I trust him, but I say he's done an amazing job of I think laying this out in every way,
Yeah.
point for point, like what this did.
It,
What
it
Trump did, and this is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And what I think the Republicans should do is just continue on with their sham trial. I think McConnell should just call it a day and say, you know what, we're not. He's exonerated or whatever the fuck they do in their kangaroo court, and just be done with it. And then the American voters can go into the next election cycle with whoever the nominee is, which I think it's going to be Bernie Sanders, especially based on the latest polls. But we should go into it knowing that we have the Democratic nominee, whoever that may be, up against the impeached president. And that way, there's at least, kind of fair grounds, slightly leaning towards the Democrats almost no matter who is the nominee. I have my problems with every one of them other than Bernie and maybe Tulsi on the outside. But we just got to vote the motherfucker out. I mean, like how Rashida Tlaib said, we're going to impeach the motherfucker. We're going to vote the motherfucker out. That's all we can do, Break. We can't
Hmm.
we can't do anything other than use our vote for good. Whatever that, your definition of good is. So I'm looking forward to this election, Break, more so
Definition
than.
of good. You know what? Speaking of like the definition of good, like the Republican Party has no real definition of good. They're the biggest fucking hypocrites on the planet, and I can
Yeah.
prove it
Yeah.
real quick. Right now, the Ohio GOP is trying to get one candidate to um, bow out of the race. They want him out because he signed up for Ashley Madison several years ago.
So what?
Well,
you know
we're talking about the people who are defending adamantly the guy who paid a porn star to not rat him out into the press while his wife was pregnant and he was sleeping with his porn star because he slept with that porn star while his wife was pregnant. I mean,
Yeah. Well, why do the evangelicals?
so there's like they don't have any morals. They're full of shit. They're hypocrites.
Well,
It's
that's
a bunch
true.
of lies.
And they also do underhanded things like gerrymandering and why if if you're a real American, why don't you want everybody to vote? And the answer is real clear. They gerrymander like minorities out of the equation completely, so they don't have they're shielded from that vote. You know what I mean, Breakman? So there's a lot of things that I don't like about the Republican Party. More things that I don't like about the Republican Party than I don't like about the Democrats.
Speaking of that, like the voting registration or voting machines are being attacked by Russian. We know that, and other countries like China, and they're not doing anything about that.
Yeah.
They say they're worried about our voting systems being tampered with and fake votes and stuff like that. But then they turn around, like you just said, they target minorities and they gerrymander and they do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then we're being attacked and they don't want to do anything about that. McConnell
Well,
doesn't want to do anything.
I mean, we'll see this election.
It's hypocrisy. They have no morals.
Right. Well, that's true. I could make the same argument for the Democrats, but lesser so than the Republicans.
But on this one, they are lining out the facts. They've proven without a shadow of a doubt that he knew what was going on, and every day more evidence comes out. Like there was a hot mic that he was caught saying something under.
Yeah.
Apparently in the Ukraine, saying like get rid of this woman, like she's got to go.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter to the Republicans though. They don't care. It's party over country, no matter what. So whatever. I mean, there's nothing we can do but vote, break, and hope that.
What scares me is there's so many people that vote. They don't care. They're still going to be with him no matter what.
I think that's shrinking. I think all he has is 25% break. You'll see next election.
But the problem is I mean, you're right. You are right. I worry that a lot of people aren't going to get out the vote.
Yeah. Well,
and we know that his supporters are going to be so adamant about it. Like
that's a
I
great
was
point.
reading today the single. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was saying that's a great point, break, because it matters how many people get out to vote, and I think there's only one candidate that will bring out the Democrats. I mean, does anybody think anybody's excited for Joe Biden? Would you be excited to vote for Joe Biden, break? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't be excited if he was coming. I think of the guy as like the senile old uncle. Like you don't look forward to seeing him at a family reunion. You know?
Yeah.
He's a guy you don't really want to be around.
Well, his quote
like you think that he might have been handsy with your cousins and stuff.
Yep.
Like you just.
Yep. Just look at the turnout. Just look at the turnout to his events compared to Bernie, and that's all you need to know about who will bring out the vote. You know what I mean?
Not that I had an uncle like that. I just want to clarify.
Freak5 says his Sweeto was the Applebee's Unlimited riblets, wings, and shrimp. That sounds really good. Stinko, he didn't have room for dessert, and they had a new one that looked really good. So.
Hey, wait, what was it?
I'd like to know. Yeah. All right, we got to move on. Anything else on that break?
I want to go on a food quest later, so I'd like to know more about food.
Yeah, I know. Applebee's sounds kind of good.
It's all messed up, like what's going on, and the people that still support him. Because I read earlier today, I was reading one of these single issue voters. Like basically, they vote for they're pro-life, is what they say, But Republican hypocrisy. You can't be pro-life and pro-war.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Weiland says.
It doesn't make sense logically or any way. Period. Sorry, man.
It makes sense if you're willing to forego all the bad that's also there. It's like your pro-life stance is so great and so part of your being that you're gonna overlook all the other stuff.
Yeah. Bernie says
I was kind of like because of Yeah, the Stinko in
Yeah,
chat.
Bernie says, I'm hungry now because we've been talking about food. Wyland says, my stinko was kidney stones and Asuito was passing them yesterday. Wow, that's
Oof.
cool. I mean, it sucks that you had those, Wyland, but it's cool that you
They're
had them
gone. Yeah.
passed. Yeah, that's good, man. I know Wyland, I talked about this last week, I think, about
Mhm.
Wyland being in the ER and how, it's kind of
Oof.
concerned, but
Yeah.
yeah, so
Just ouch.
yeah,
Heard how
hopefully
painful they are.
glad you're feeling a little bit better. Hopefully those don't return, Wyland, because I mean, I can only think of two things that are worse than kidney stones: cluster headaches, which I suffer from, and childbirth, which I've never suffered
I
from.
was gonna
So,
say childbirth.
yep, those are the only two things that are worse. So, okay, we need to move on unless you have anything else, Break.
No. I
Okay,
mean, we've talked enough about these
Eric,
assholes and
your
stuff like that.
stinkos.
My stinkos are Nintendo winning a lawsuit for digital pre-order cancellations. Basically, what happened was this was hold on, let me scroll down. Nintendo of Europe. I'll just read the article. Nintendo of Europe has won the Nintendo eShop pre-order cancellation case being brought to it and against it in Germany. After deliberations, the court ruled that Nintendo is not engaging in any illegal activities by not allowing customers to cancel any pre-orders they make for digital purchases in the eShop and dismissed the case.
Well, that
What?
sucks. You can't cancel your pre-order.
It's basically no returns on a digital pre-order.
Oh, fuck that, man. That's some
See, this is
bullshit.
what's been going on with the courts. This is why Mitch McConnell loves Trump, is because he's getting as many like pro-business and pro-rich judges in
Yep.
our courts as he
Yeah.
possibly can get.
Yeah. Wyland says Sunday was 12.
It's gonna be pro-corporation, pro it's gonna be anti anything like unions or
Yeah. See,
people.
that's why I know I beat the drum for Bernie every fucking week and I'm going to until the fucking election. Because these are the type of things that Bernie wants to do away with. Get rid of corporate power, give it back to the people.
Get rid of old people that don't understand online
Yeah.
e-commerce infrastructures.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
we need term limits. We've talked about that many
Yep,
times.
absolutely.
One of the biggest problems is if people get in there and they make a career out of being a politician.
If I would have
Yeah.
judged, I would have been like, no, Nintendo. In fact, I'm gonna make sure that a law is written up to force you to not do this again.
Yeah, I think
If somebody should buy something or they put money down, they should be able to cancel it, no question.
Yeah,
you know?
it shouldn't be treated as a purchase. It should be treated as an actual pre-order.
Yeah.
And you only get charged once the game launches.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
When I ran we talked about Game Crazy earlier. When I ran a store,
force Nintendo or Sony or whoever the shop is who runs the shop.
Yeah.
To only charge you once the game ships.
I guess the moral of the story is don't pre-order anything.
Online.
When you pre-order with me, if you didn't want that game, I'd let you change your other game. Or if you didn't, if you didn't want to pre-order anything and you changed your mind, I gave you your money back.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
It's absolutely ridiculous, Nintendo.
Yeah.
And the judge is ridiculous too.
Yeah, I totally agree. But that's in Germany. Hopefully, something similar like that doesn't happen here. What else you got?
In Germany?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure the setup.
What I was saying about the Trump lawyers.
Yeah. What's that?
I'm pretty sure that Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Japan have the exact same setup on theirs.
Yeah, and I'm sure
it's just somebody tried to sue them for it.
Yeah. Okay, Eric, we got to move on. Next, you have another stinko.
Yeah, the other stinko is oh boy. Basically somebody wants to do a new story with the Hardy Boys that features the murder of Nancy Drew.
Well, why is this a stinko to you, Eric? Because to be honest, because
Arthur is a complete fucking liar because he says he loves Nancy Drew. When by how you're gonna make a story where she's dead?
Yeah, but look. They can always bring Nancy Drew back. I mean, they could say this isn't canon and this is just a what if type scenario a la Marvel. So, I was kind of thinking, why is this a stinko, Eric? Because like sometimes with characters like that have been around for years and years and years,
because it's a fucking girlfriend and refrigerator trope that needs to fucking die.
Well, okay,
What
then
if his follow up is to do the opposite?
Yeah.
Nancy Drew investigates their murder.
Yeah, see that's a good point. That's what I was going to bring up.
But
Right?
that's like supposition that it's just.
I
it's
mean,
just
this isn't like
tired.
the main.
I'm tired of seeing it happen.
Eric,
This isn't they're killing off Nancy Drew though, right?
No.
This is just like they're one story.
yeah.
No, it is a series of books or comics. It's a comic series of comics.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've written so many different articles.
It is a
so many
comic
different
storyline, but it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know.
Eric-
different comics have different storylines.
Yeah,
I mean,
Eric-
look at, for instance, the DC universe. We've had evil Superman. There's
Yeah.
good Superman. We've had Superman's
My
family
stinko isn't the
murder.
fact that the story exists. My stinko is the stupid author's
Just the
reasoning
trope.
to think
Yeah.
the author is very suspect. That's all I
Yeah.
have to say.
Okay.
Well,
Eric,
I'm not criticizing it as a stinko. I'm just.
Eric, let me put it to you this way. Like a lot of times in comics, right? I used to read a lot of comics, and people would always ask the questions, like when I would go to comic shops, what if, this happened, or what if this happened? What would have happened
Yeah,
if...
like what if stories is how I was kind of looking
Yeah,
at it. Like,
yeah.
I love the what if stories.
I did too, and so Marvel listened to their fans.
There was a Star Wars what if story. If Luke died on Hoth and Han took up the lightsaber and he
Yep.
went to day goodbye and became a Jedi.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just...
like crazy what if stories and shit. Like
Yeah, I don't mind that, but I do agree with Eric about the whole trope thing. And I thought about it that way too.
And I
Eric,
can't help but wonder the motivations behind doing this.
Yeah, just for
I mean,
something
if
different.
it's misogynistic, that's one thing. But if they're doing this as like a what if, and then like I said, they do the follow.
Yeah, but like maybe they are a
investigating
misogynist
their
and they're
murders or
doing this to hide behind, and by hiding behind that fact,
Mm.
hoping you'll take that bait.
Well, we'll see. I mean, let's see how it plays out, and I don't know. I'm a big fan of what if stories. I like what if stories. So if
I'm
this...
just thinking that I've seen a lot of times like we criticize stuff before it comes out. Like I know I bagged
Yeah, and there's
Batman
plenty
Fully
of people
Charged,
who-
and I was wrong. I liked it
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people who will defend this stuff, like you.
Well, we're not. I'm
You
not
should probably
defending.
know better.
Eric, none of us have read the stories. Maybe they're fantastic
Yeah,
stories.
that's what I'm saying.
You
Like,
know?
we don't know what it is. He's saying that his idea is this, right?
Yeah, I don't.
That's what I understood you to say is that he hasn't done this yet. This is what his plans are.
Yeah. I don't mind if it's a what if type thing, I wouldn't mind it. If it's just, a misogynistic type thing, then, And then Wyland says, people buy Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew comics? Yeah, that I don't know. Wyland, I can't
They
say.
still buy Archie comics too. That
Yeah.
blows my
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess it's gotten more popular since the Riverdale.
There was a
show,
whole
but
Archie's
it was
like
still
line where there was like zombies involved, and it was pretty dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, the series was pretty, wasn't it? Like, what was that series called? That was kind of based on that.
Riverdale.
Riverdale.
It was
Yeah.
really popular.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, my stinko of the week is real quickly. I'm not going to go too far into it, but games that give vague quote unquote tutorials. Like, I was playing Kingdom Hearts, and there's this spot where you have to level up your ship, but it doesn't. It tells you you have to find crabs to level up your ship.
Actually, Break, you were saying like it hasn't happened yet. I think the first issue happened.
Oh,
Okay.
it has. Have you checked it out, or
No. It
so
doesn't
you're
have
just
a link to it.
criticizing without seeing any of it at all?
Yeah. Freak5 says I'm liking the Nancy Drew show on CW.
I don't like the concept. That's why,
Okay,
Okay,
that's fine.
Yeah,
I get
that's
it. Like I wouldn't like a concept of Dr. Wily kills Mega Man comic or something like
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
I probably wouldn't be into that either.
Yeah, I get that, Eric. So, but anyways, my stinker was games that give you vague tutorials. Like I was playing Kingdom Hearts, and it tells you to level up your ship, you got to collect crabs, right? Well, I had already collected crabs, more than what I needed to level up this ship, and I'm like, well, how do you like? There's no, I mean, instead of telling you it'll automatically happen. They yeah, I have crabs. You son of a bitch.
I think
Brickman.
it's hilarious that you fix your ship with crabs.
Yeah, but it doesn't like tell you that it automatically happens. So I'm going around the town to find more crabs, and there was no more crabs in that area. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? How do
I
I
think they respawn after a certain amount of time.
No, they not in the port, not the main port, like where you first go into. They don't
I think the
respawn.
ones that you fail to pick up maybe respawn.
Nope,
That's what
not even those. Not even those. So you have to leave that area and then find them out on other islands and stuff, and that's how and it automatically does it. Once you hit the amount, it'll automatically level up your ship. But I had no idea. I was like going crazy. So
I feel like the whole ship leveling up mechanic was like so insignificant. It's not tied to anything else.
So like, weak. Yeah. The only reason you do that is to get an extra trophy. That's pretty much it. But whatever. So, and my other stinko goes to Twitter trolls. Like anytime I say anything about Bernie, I got 50 people telling me, well, Bernie's a socialist and you can't do that. You know, he's gonna bring the Gestapo back, and basically comparing him to a fucking Nazi. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's a fucking Jew. You know, he's not. I mean, he's the opposite of what you're. I guess it's projection. Like these people want certain things, or
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what Trump would do. That's what ICE basically is.
Yeah. So whatever. I don't know. Twitter trolls kind of get to me every once in a while, and then you point out facts, and facts never mean anything to those type of people. So whatever. But we need to move on to.
You can show them evidence, and they just don't listen.
Nope.
Of the week.
All right, Sweeto of the week, Breakman.
Oh, my Sweeto goes to there's a certain chatter who gave me a free online copy of the Joker, which I haven't got a chance to watch yet. I thank him. He knows who he is. I don't know if he wanted me to say his name.
Oh, well, shit. You should give him credit, man. That'd be really cool. Okay.
Oh, Wyland then.
Yeah.
If he wants me to give credit, you said he wanted me to. I should have waited to see if he actually wanted. Well, it was Wyland.
Wyland's a cool dude, man. Like he's, that's not a problem. Why would Wyland care? Shit. Speaking of,
if you say like somebody gave me something free, somebody might. I'm not saying like our listeners do that, but we might have there might always be that one person who like, hey, you give that guy something free. Hey.
You know what? Speaking of giving away free things, I don't know if you guys remember, but we had a guest on to talk about the Grey Walkers RPG a long time ago. I can't remember the guy's name. It's been so long since we talked to him, but we talked to him about, and it came out. The game is called Grey Walkers, and he reached back out to me. And I think, Eric, you got a copy of the game on Steam, didn't you?
Early access copy, which I haven't got around to playing because it is early access.
Yeah, and I actually have, if anybody's interested, let me know. I actually have a code for a, early access to the Grey Walkers RPG. I don't play PC games, but, if like Freak 5, if you're interested, or Wyland. Speaking of Wyland, are you... I don't know if Wyland does PC gaming, but let me know if you guys...
I mean, I'm going to get to it eventually, but I got other obligations I need to fulfill first.
Yeah, whoever like lets me know first if they want the game, I'll go ahead and give you a code, because I don't have a PC to play it. So, it is what it is. But, so shout out to... the team over at the Grey Walkers RPG, and you could look at our archives, listen to that interview. The game looked good, so, if you want a chance to check it out.
Wyland has code for an old-ass Constantine game.
Yeah, I think I have a Constantine City of Demons code. I love that movie, Wyland. I'll take that. And yes, Freak 5, I do suck at games, but I'm not sucking at Kingdom Hearts 3, so there you go.
You're sucking at getting crabs, though.
No, I found a place where I could farm them.
No, he sucked somebody to get the crabs.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? You're exiled, Breakman.
It's like, when I started collecting crabs in the game to fix the ship, I was like, what? Why? But then you play the game some more and you learn why.
Freak 5 doesn't want it. Wyland, if you want that code, let me know, because you guys are the only ones in chat. And if Wyland doesn't want it, I'll just I'll give it randomly out to somebody. But yeah, just let me know, Wyland, if you want it. So
also, I think I might hurt myself and watch Stranger Tide on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I heard it's not a good movie at all.
It's not that good. All right, Wyland, I'll give it to you, man. Let me go to Twitter and I'll give that to you after the show. Okay. Let's move on. Let's see. I'll do my Sweeto. We've been talking about Bernie quite a bit, or at least I have. He's leading nationally, according to some polls. Actually, some of the major polls. I think Emerson was one, and some of the others. So, and also, Joe Rogan, of all people, said that he's probably going to vote for Bernie. And people were outraged by that, but I'll take any major endorsement that Bernie gets. I know Joe Rogan's a piece of shit, and we've discussed.
I'm more concerned that it's going to hurt Bernie.
It's not.
Because in addition to capitulating to Republicans, now we've got Joe Rogan, who's got a bunch of those type of people backing him.
No, look, if Bernie's going to win the whole thing, he's going to have to get some Republicans to vote for him. And this is actually a decent way for...
I mean, I'm not saying it's not a bad idea. It's just kind of shitty that he could have gone someone with anybody else.
Look, I'll take it, Eric. I'll take any of his... He has the #1 podcast in the world. He reaches out, far beyond what any of us could even dream of doing, no matter how much we talk on air, et cetera, et cetera. And even if, 5% of his audience decides, listen, Eric, just listen for a second. If even 5% of Joe Rogan's audience votes for Bernie, that's a significant amount that could make a big difference in a general election, especially in places like Wisconsin and Michigan and even some of the southern states. I think Texas might even be in play. So, I'll take it. I don't like Joe Rogan, but I'll take the endorsement. That's all I got to say. All right, Breakman, did I already do your Sweeto?
Yes.
Okay, Eric, your Sweeto.
I don't... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. I have one Sweeto this week. I got a new patron.
Oh, awesome. Do you want to give him a shout-out on the show? Or?
Yeah, Ask Wheels from the Q&A podcast segment of RP Gamer.
Whew, okay.
$3.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Special shout out to those guys, man. Really appreciate it. That's Eric could use all the help he can get. So, yeah, there you go. Anything else on that, Eric?
No, that's it.
Okay, let's move to our.
Unless I'm mention my law. We did this before the show started, but I'm gonna mention it again. But I kind of have a Wolves. I kind of got rid of that section, but if there's something spectacularly dumb I seen in the week, I'm gonna want to mention it, and that'd be how the Space Force's icon, symbol, whatever, looks just like a tweaked version of the Star Command from Star Trek.
Yeah.
And camo in space. Huh?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's so stupid.
Never mind the fact that we don't even need a branch of the military called the Space Force, because the other pre-existing branches could already fulfill that role.
Yeah.
If they try and invest some money in NASA, for God's sakes.
I know. There's a comparison. They look exactly like the Star Trek. It's a department of the Air Force, which is, I guess, makes sense. But
just imagine if we invested as much money in NASA as we did in the military.
I know.
We would own other planets by now and shit. People would be living on the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that. Yeah. It'd be like early Star Trek.
Yeah. Wyland it is for Steam. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. It's a Steam code. So the only thing I ask, let me know how it plays, and just when you play it, let me know what you think of it, so I can give a little bit of feedback.
I hope the state of Roddenberry sues them.
Yeah, that would be nice for them to do that. And man, yeah, but the camo in space, really, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay,
even the Stargate space,
yeah.
Even the Stargate outfits were camouflaged properly, because they were all I think they were all Navy-ish.
Yeah, I don't know.
No camo.
Enough about that. Let's move on, guys.
If you want space camo, wouldn't it be like the blend in with the metal hallways or something.
No,
Or
I was
maybe-
thinking
Or
like
maybe like if you're outside to be like black.
yeah,
or,
black with like stars, like here
or,
and
or
there.
maybe mirrors on it or something like that to
Yes.
reflect.
Yeah, exactly. Something different, but no, camo in space, which is not going to do anything. And
I think it's because they're so cheap they don't want to commission new outfits, so they just took pre-existing outfits and
I
slapped the
guess.
new logo on
I
it.
guess it's so stupid. All right, we got to move on, guys, because we're running short on time. Let's move on to. All right, free for all this week. Eric came up with a series of really good questions. The first one being, can you be a fan of a game without having played it personally? And this is an interesting question. I'm going to start, guys, and I don't think you can be a fan of a game if you haven't played it. Without playing it and knowing the mechanics of the game and how it plays, because it's different. It's one thing to watch a Let's Play on YouTube as opposed to actually playing the game.
Here's my counter to that, though.
Yeah, go ahead,
Visual
Eric.
novels and stuff like Detroit Beyond Human.
Visual novels different. I think Beyond Human, I think you have to play it. There's still mechanics to the game.
You have to play it so you can do the arbitrary button presses for QTEs.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which for something that's ultimately a movie.
Yeah,
But-
I guess, but there's still gameplay elements to it. Visual novels you could get away with.
Yeah,
that,
there's still
but-
the adventure game part to it. That's like the only real interactive part of those
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
But that's is exactly what makes it a game instead of a movie.
Yeah, that's
But,
what I'm
like,
saying.
I don't think you need to play that part of the game.
Well, the game says otherwise, Eric. It's a game. It's not a movie.
I think this question, whether or not that's true or not, I think it's mostly true for most games, but I think it's really highly dependent on the game you're playing. and
Yeah,
how,
I agree.
How strong the interactive element is. And,
Like I
I
think
think you could be fans of parts of the game, like the soundtrack. You could be a fan of the soundtrack, or
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
you're talking in generalities. Maybe you're a fan of the series and
Yeah.
not necessarily that specific installment that you're
yeah.
discussing.
Or or maybe you are the little brother of an asshole big brother or little sister of an asshole big brother who won't let you play the games, but you can sit there and watch them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I still think you need to play the game in order to be a fan. Because what if you play the game and you suck at it and it drives you crazy and you can't finish it? Break. It's like, it's one of those catch-22s. I honestly don't think you can be a fan unless it's a visual novel. Visual novels are different because you're basically just pressing a button to get to the next. You're choose. It's like a choose your own adventure. You can be.
See, I'm sorry, go ahead. I thought you were.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay, I disagree because when I was younger, I'd watch other people play, and they'd be good at games like Super Mario Brothers. I was terrible at games. I was
Yeah.
terrible at everything when I was a kid.
I think that goes
I
to
would die on the first or second level of those games.
yeah.
So I'm not getting very far in them, but I'd sit there and watch other people get far in them, and like, wow, that's cool and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's the difference. Like
Enjoy it.
But when you become capable, like you and I, we're not the greatest gamers in the world, but we're capable of beating like difficult games like Dark Souls or, different things like that. Like I could see myself eventually beating Bloodborne as much problems as I've had with that game. Like if we only had the time to really hone in a few decent skills, then we could beat almost any game. But there's certain games like you could be a fan of a genre, for instance, like obviously like RPGrinders. We focus a lot on RPGs, but I could like for instance, I like BioShock. BioShock's a great game in my opinion. So I don't know. I think that
I just think that like if you watch somebody else play a game and you like what's going on in the game, I think it's fair to call yourself a fan. Maybe you have disability issues that prevent you from playing a game.
That's fair enough. It's fair enough, Eric. I see your point. I could get behind that.
The only reason I even brought this up is because I saw this as a tweet and I got immediately angry at the way they were going about it, because they basically were using this argument to say that it wasn't gatekeeping, but the way they were talking about it definitely was gatekeeping.
Yeah. I think it's subjective. I think if you, let's say for instance, let's say for instance, because I've seen a lot of Let's Plays, like I watch Rad Brad and, from time to time other people play games, and I could say I like the game, what I saw of it, but it doesn't fit logically to say that I'm a fan of that game if I have not played the game and don't know the mechanics of the game, actually doing the mechanics of the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's different for disabled people. I understand that, so I guess you could say that. Freak5 says you can enjoy watching someone play a game and be a fan without ever picking up the controller. I think you could be a fan of what you see, but I think you would have a different perspective. Let's say the controls sucked, for instance, and you picked up the controllers and you found out that the controls suck. Well, then maybe you're not a fan of that game. You know what I mean? Like,
Or at least you're not a fan of those controls.
Yeah, exactly. So, he says, I never had an NES, and I was a fan of the first Final Fantasy years before I first played it. I'd gotten the strategy guide, and reading that made me a fan. That's a little bit different because that gives you backstory and stuff like that. I agree with.
I wouldn't have played Dragon Quest if I had not watched my brothers and cousins play it.
Yeah, I mean, you can get interested in games that way by watching other people play, maybe watching a Let's Play or watching it. But I think to be a true fan of the game, I think you really do need to play. In order to get because gaming is different than just watching a movie. I think we can all agree on that. I mean, there's interaction, and if those interactions aren't up to snuff to what your standards are, then that could change your view of the game completely. So I think it's subjective. I think there's no right or wrong answer to that. But I think we need to move on. I don't know what you're meaning by this Christian supremacy thing, Eric. So let's move on.
I'm gonna have to workshop that. But
yeah, let's move on to. I think I know what you're getting at with that, but I think that's a topic for a different day. What do you? Okay, you have an article here, "The Poison of the Netflix Model." What's going on here, Eric?
I've talked about this a couple times ago, but I really do not like the fact that Netflix is buying up all these anime series or movies, for that matter. And okay, the first issue is when it's a series, you have to wait till the way the U.S. model works is you have to wait till the series is completely over before they'll put it on. They won't do it week to week like the other countries do with their Netflixes. So it's the U.S. market that does this exclusively, and drives people to the wall because they want to watch the show and they want to be a part of the community and they want to talk about it weekly, but they can't watch the show. Everybody else can, and unless you're using VPNs, and even then, I'm not sure the English subtitle options would be available or whatever the case might be for your country.
Yeah, this and you're referring.
But when it comes to movies and other series, they got Neon Genesis Evangelion. That's a series. Yeah. Nobody knows whether or not there's going to be a physical release of it. And the fact that Netflix has it instead of, say, somebody like Funimation means that we might not get another physical release of that, despite the fact that there are physical releases in other parts of the world.
Yeah. I agree with you, Eric, on this subject. The only, I mean, I think you're referring to.
Not to mention Netflix is stupid because they're basically doing the Epic stories and they're bleeding money.
Well, it's all about licensing rights, Eric. Like you're talking about the Studio Ghibli movies going to Netflix, but not in the U.S., and that's because HBO bought those rights a long ass time ago. So, I mean. It just depends on how much these services are willing to pay. The weird thing about Studio Ghibli is I thought they had a deal with Disney. So if anything should happen, those movies should go to Disney Plus.
They did, but when when Disney was doing these movies when Miramax was doing these movies, who had ties to Disney at the time until they completely bought them out.
Yeah.
But they didn't renew those rights, and then they went over the G Kids.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, it all depends on who has the most money, and they have to weigh, like, is getting all these Studio Ghibli movies gonna make people want to get their service and these other. I mean, it's all about rights and money. It
So
all
so,
yeah.
well, from what I understand, Ghibli movies are gonna end up on HBO Max now.
Yeah, in the United States, you'll be able to see them on HBO Max, and if you're anywhere else, they're going to be on Netflix. So, I don't know if you have a VPN and you want to check them out, you probably can do it that way or whatever.
I
However,
think even with like the addition of the Ghibli movies, like that the price per month for HBO Max is still too much for me. In my opinion.
yeah, I don't think it's going to move the needle all that much, Eric. So, I mean, these are calculated risks that these services take in the hopes that they'll get more subscribers. I just don't think it's going to be enough for. I mean,
You
for
want a physical release of Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back's Evolution? Fuck you.
yeah,
If
pretty
they-
much that's what they're saying. I mean, I
I
eventually.
mean, they could work something out where they release a disc release because I know that with the issue with Castlevania,
Yeah,
um, those got disc releases.
yeah. I'm not sure to answer you, Eric, but everything eventually comes physical because people still like physical or digital, so they'll be for sale somewhere eventually. I know that there's certain
I
like
really do want them to change the the binge model to the week to week model, and people want to binge, they can do it then.
I like the binge model for most series, but
I don't want them holding a show hostage until it's done. I want the show to release week by week, and people can binge after the series ends if they want to.
I like the idea of binge watching. To be honest with you, Eric, it's the way things are done now. Like you can get a lot more in by binge watching than by week.
Have you not been paying attention to what I've been saying though? I mean, I have no problem with people binging. I just don't think that Netflix should just withhold everything until the show's over.
Well, their model obviously works. They're making a shit ton of money, Eric. I mean, that it's
I think it would still work just as well if people could wait to week.
there's yes and no, Eric. Like Disney Plus does it, like they did it with The Mandalorian, and it seemed to work out pretty well for them. But I could see myself binge watching that series. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you're right. Maybe just release things week to week, and you can binge watch it. But then again, that
I mean, when I finally watched The Mandalorian, I am gonna binge it, but I didn't have a problem with it being week to week.
I do because of spoilers. I hate spoilers. So
That's why I stay off Twitter.
yeah, well, I mean, some people that's feasible, and other people it's not as feasible. So I can see both sides, Eric. Like it's an ambiguity about it that I don't think we can answer. Some people like it, some people don't. But I think the majority of people actually do like binging. So what do we do? I mean, there's no data to back up whether or not that affects things. So lots to talk about. I mean, it's food for thought. If you're out there and you're listening, let us know. The Twitter handle's at RPGrinders. I'm sure Break would like some, feedback on these and other issues, especially relationship issues. So, you'd let them know. Especially the more awkward, the better. Like if you're, wondering what size of dildo that you should use, I'm sure Breakman would be more than happy to delve into those questions. Right, Break? Break's like, no, I'm not at all. Did we lose Break? I think we lost Break.
Maybe he went on food quests.
Yeah, probably. Let's add Break back here.
He's having problems with his computer though.
Oh, okay.
As the chat suggests that.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on. He got taken out. But do we have you back, Break?
Yes, I'm back.
Apparently your PC's a slut.
Hey,
That's
Breakman.
probably the nicest thing I said.
Yeah. Hey, Breakman. What do you think about people sending you in questions like, what size dildo they should get? Would you be okay with them sending those?
Why? I mean,
I know
that's
how to
a
get your
personal
PC
preference.
behave.
Well, yeah.
You need to get a You need to get an attachment where you can stick a dildo in it, and then it'll feel good, right?
Yes, definitely. I agree.
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah, I mean,
like,
anybody can ask anything. I mean, that's
yeah,
what we're here for, right?
exactly. That's what I was saying. That's what I was
I
saying.
mean, if somebody needs to know what size dildo to buy, I mean, I'm happy to help them. But I think at the end of the day, it's a personal preference. I
Oh,
mean, I
okay.
think you should start with the biggest one possible.
With no lube? Is that what you're saying? I mean, you know.
Who uses lube? What kind of fucking wimp uses lube?
Oh man. On that note, I think we should end this show and just hope that we make it till next week, man. I don't know how far we're gonna make it with this type of shit, but all right, let's do our plugs.
Our
Brakeman.
shitty technology, like Jesus.
Exactly. Brakeman, you're next. What?
I'm not plugging any of this tech. I guess Skype, it's worked fine. It's put up with my bullshit today. You can follow me at break_man or at RPGrinders on Twitter, where you can ask Dear Breakman a question.
There you go. Ask him anything. He'll answer anything, including like period questions, like women. Let him know. Like if you're having some problems with
Right,
your
I'll
period.
mansplain all day long.
Exactly.
The other two anime question that Cole brought about this whole discussion about Netflix were Dorohedoro and Beastars.
Yeah, Freak5 says, has that question been on your mind? Yes, it has. I'm wondering.
Yes, women, if you need things mansplain, that's what I'm here for.
Exactly.
Frank and Break would probably like a show like Dorohedoro too. So
why is there lots of boobs in it?
There's a big wrestling luchador chick in it that's got muscles and can punch the hole in some dude.
Oh, hey.
Why would we like that?
I like that. That's fine.
Well, you don't like Fist of the North style shenanigans?
I do.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about boobs. I'm sorry.
Well, she's big and muscly, and her chest is big because of that.
So. Oh, see,
okay.
That works for me. I'm okay with that. Okay, Eric, your plugs, please.
I'm gonna plug my Patreon. Maybe I could get more than 3 people now.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's in my Twitter profile at EricRPG, and I write reviews for sites like BostonBasherBrigade.com, BogNetwork.com, and TotallyGN.com.
Okay.
And if you like what I've written and you want to support me, even something as little as $1 a month would help me.
Yeah.
Or if maybe you want to hire him to write a review for your game or something.
Yeah, that too. He'll do piecework too. I'm sure you would be.
Wouldn't that be conflict of interest?
Not really. You can
on their part, not mine. I guess it's not my problem.
Not yours. You can do whatever you want, man. Okay.
It's my problem if
they want to hire somebody to give a fair review. Yeah. I mean, that's what you'd want as a developer, right? You don't want somebody to kiss your ass.
Right.
I mean,
and that's only
a publisher would, but a developer wants honesty. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Eric. Anything else?
Have a nice weekend.
Okay, you can follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches. You can get me on any of the systems, RPGrinders on Xbox, PSN, and Nintendo. Just look me up there, and I will add you as a friend. Watch Zombieland 2. It's a great sequel, and I think you guys will thoroughly enjoy it. Yeah. And check out Lighthouse again. I can't say enough about that movie. I still been thinking about that movie. So, watch that movie. It's a great movie with Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe gives a great performance and should have been nominated for an Oscar. So, I don't think I have.
And get drunk and watch Unbelievable.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know why I suggested getting drunk first, but do it.
Maybe watch it and then get drunk. Actually, that might lead to, I don't know.
I think the drinking is probably going to lead to depression watching that. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Don't do that. Don't do any of that. We don't want you to hurt yourself or anybody else. So, all right. Anything else, Jim?
Frank doesn't.
Yeah, I definitely don't. Breakman, maybe.
I want to give Frank the link to the Dorohedoro.
Okay.
Wikipedia entry, and then he can go. Then he can go shout out Netflix to put it on the U.S. store.
Yeah, that's how much pull. That's how much pull I have, man. You know, so there you go. Okay. Anything else, gentlemen?
Yeah, just one thing.
Oh, you son of a bitch! You did it! God damn it! What's wrong with you, Breakman? You really want me to hang up on you, don't you? You son of a bitch! God damn
Well,
it!
if I did, I'd use the cowbell.
Well, no, the cowbell's good, man. I like the cowbell. Any day of the week, I'll take cowbell over that shitty harmonica. All right, everybody, stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we are out. Later, everybody.
I think I like this, dude. You got a what instrument?
Cowbell.
Oh, Mrs. Brickman has a trumpet.
No harmonica. Sucks.
Yes,
Quit trying to Quit trying to recruit Mrs. Breakman, you son of a bitch. Unfair. Totally unfair. Later, everybody.
That's her harmonica.
Yeah, I know. That's her harmonica?
Yes.
Mrs. Breakman gets in exile. Damn it. God damn it. What's wrong with your wife, man? Holy shit. Hey, everybody in chat, thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. Wyland, really appreciate it. Freak5, thank you so much. Who else was in there? Anybody else in there? No? Oh, Bernie was in there. Bernie was always in there. So thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you guys next week with a lot of maybe some giveaways, maybe some interviews, you know, stuff like that. So thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Later, everybody.